This Staccato HD C3.6 costs 3 times as much as a Glock 43X. Is it worth it? Is it a Glock wannabe? Are you just poor? We're going to answer all those questions along with an alternate perspective at the end of this video, so stick around. We're going to get so fucking muddy, it's not even funny. So, as you may know, I like to keep my reviews short and to the point because we're busy, okay? We have to give our professional opinion on ice. I've been doing it all week. Wonder what Erica Kirk is selling, doom scrolling, whether or not your favorite politician is on a list. I'm not going to say the list. You know what the list I'm talking about. We're going to start off with the main purpose of these weapons, and that's concealability. They're concealed carry weapons. So we're going to start off with the width, all right? The Glock is clearly on Ozempic compared to the Staccato, which for a big guy like me, it doesn't really matter. I like a little beef in my hand, okay? And when it comes to the Glock, and I'm a Glock guy, so anyone in the comment section who says, you're just shilling for Staccato, I wish they would give me fucking guns. I would shill so hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyway, so I'm a Glock guy, and I run a Glock 45 for competitions. When it comes to the Glock 43X, I think it might conceal a little bit better, and we're gonna get to this later on. However, it feels like I don't have enough down here, which is my number one concern over here, except for you do get a little bit more grip length here. Not by much, but it's meaningful. So for a big guy like me, if you're big, I'm 6'7", you probably will prefer Staccato because it just gives you that ability to, I don't know, control it better. You can control the gun better because it's a little bit thicker. It fits your hand a little bit more than this one. This one seems to slide around on me, okay? So with that being said, we're gonna move into weighing both of these weapons. All right, so we're gonna start off with the Staccato. We're gonna tear it. 27.3 ounces. So we got 1.5 pounds. Now, I don't know how much this Trigicon RCR weighs, but it's not adding a lot, I'll tell you that. Let's go over to the Glock 43X with the RMS on it. Again, your budget build, it gets you through the day. 17.4. So we're talking a 10-ounce difference on these guns right here. And I think that matters because if you're looking at a truly compact, lightweight solution, and that's like really one of your focuses, that's a pretty big difference. That's like 2 times the gun. Okay, so now that we've weighed them empty, we're going to weigh them with a mag full. 36.45 ounces. Holy shit. I carry this gun when I go on long runs. I go on trail runs, and so I carry this in a fanny pack, which is not gay. It's slapping my leg. So that makes a lot of sense now. Glock 23.95. So we're right at about, what, 1.5 pounds? That is a significant difference. Now we're gonna go on to shooting them. We're gonna start off first with the Staccato, but you guys should be focused on my hands and how the gun's recoil is. And so now we're gonna put it in slow-mo. So as you can see, recoil management is really great on this gun, and I think it's because that, you know, that typical Staccato slide, it's extremely smooth. So we're gonna move on to the Glock. One thing I will say that we haven't technically addressed yet is this has a Radian ramjet on it, okay? Which they claim that it has a 40% recoil reduction. I don't know where that math is coming from, but we're gonna slow this footage down and you let me know if you feel like, you know, especially if you maybe have a Glock 43 and you're looking to upgrade this Staccato, do you think that this is giving you a 40% reduction in recoil? Personally, I don't think 40%. It might be double digit, like 10, 15, but we'll go. So as you can see, recoil management in this is definitely not bad, and it's absolutely improved by that Radian ramjet with, you know, a much smaller footprint than other types of compensators that you can get. Again, I don't know if it's 40% reduction. I think that the 43 itself is not, you know, extremely zesty as far as recoil is considered, but I just don't know that we're getting that out of it. That's just my honest opinion with no science behind it, okay? Kind of like global warming. So now that we're done shooting it, we're gonna move on. So what we're gonna do is completely empty. We're gonna get some dirt in the bitch. Look at that. Don't try this at home, kids. That almost seems unfair. So we're gonna test it out now. So full disclosure, I had to clean this chamber out a little bit. It wouldn't move. So I think we're good now. We'll see if it actually takes anything. Let's try it. Won't extract. So let's say we're in a firefight right now with the Chinese. They just invaded. We are cooked. Not as bad as I thought, also not as good as I thought that was gonna be. So, reliability, if you put a piece of mud inside the chamber, you're gonna have issues. Now, you probably didn't know. So I'm glad I tested it out so you guys don't put mud in the chamber. We're gonna do something similar to the Glock. I'm probably not gonna go as hard and then have to clean it out. As you can see, the chamber's relatively clean now. That's a reasonable amount of dust if you're getting into it. So it's relatively clean right now. So let's get the Glock. Again, we're gonna go a little bit easier with the Glock. Stick it in there. We do not have an enclosed emitter on this gun. So we're not gonna drop it in the dirt like we did the last one. I would say the chamber looks very similar to the last one. Okay. People are gonna say I'm not giving a fair fight because I did put a lot of shit into that, but I really did clean out most of it. Let's see. Okay, let's push it a little bit. Hold on. Like, I'm positive that somebody's gonna say that that wasn't a fair fight. So now I've got a chunk in there. I'm gonna do some of that. Look at that. That is a dirty, dirty chamber. All right, Glock, don't fail me now. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. It kind of speaks for itself. This Glock is filthy. I don't know if you can get in there. Let me try a different angle. Look inside that chamber. Zoom in on that. That's a fair fight. That's a fair fight. Now, if the conditions are right, you probably would still pick the Staccato maybe, because of the faster follow-up shots, etc. But if the situation gets Western, the Glock might be the better choice. And I don't want to say that. I actually didn't think that that would do as poorly as it did. And yes, I did put a lot on it, but again, I want to reiterate that I did clean a lot of that out. I would actually argue now that the Staccato is cleaner than this. Let's get a side by side. You tell me. I see visible chunks in the Glock. Yeah, you've got some on the top of the slide in the Staccato. Look at that. You getting that? Mm-hmm. And look at that Glock. Do the Glock fanboys have a point? I think they do. I think they make a good point. Do I prefer the Staccato over the Glock still? Yeah, I do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had Glocks forever, and I will still always carry them. And you'll see that I carry my Glock 45 competition pistol in competitions because I get in the dirt, I get in the mud, and I need something that's gonna run. But I like how this looks, I like how this feels, I like how this makes me feel. And that's gonna get me killed. So, at the beginning I said that I would give you an alternate perspective on both of these guns. Now that we've dipped them in the mud, that might change this a little bit, but we're going to turn it over to a woman and we're going to film her and see what she thinks.
This is the Glock 43X. I'm going to start with this and then on to the Staccato. On to the Staccato. In my honest opinion, I actually prefer the Glock over the Staccato. Maybe it's because I have smaller hands, but ultimately it just felt nice. It felt more secure in my hand. The Staccato feels good shooting-wise, but overall, I'd probably go with the Glock.
Do you think most women agree with that?
I would say just because most of us have smaller hands than men do, it just felt more comfortable in my hands. It just feels easier and smoother to shoot that one.
So there you have it. We cover reliability, weight, recoil management, and most importantly, reliability. With that being said, you might still be asking yourself, well then who is this gun for? I'm here to tell you it's the same guy who buys this. It's for the Glock guys. You should think about this Staccato HD series more like a weekend car that you could drive every day, but if conditions get rough, you're probably better off still taking this.